Okay, welcome back. In this tutorial, we want to start adding in functionality and code blocks. So here's my GUI. It's very important that you go through the development lifecycle. So let's go through that. The development lifecycle is phase 1, analyze the problem. Step 2, plan your GUI. So get your engineering design paper out, go through your design phase, think about what you want on your layouts. Number 3 is build our GUI, which we just did. We constructed our GUI from our engineering design paper. Once again, we learned it is okay to add to your engineering design paper. And then step 4, we're now ready to start adding code blocks. So to add code blocks in, you want to just go up here to blocks, click on your blocks phase, and you're ready to start adding blocks. So now I just kind of think through my GUI here and start creating code that will handle everything that I want to handle. So let's think about the text boxes up top. Anytime you have a text box up top, you need to create a variable to handle that whatever's typed in there. You have to have a variable to store it in memory. So think about you guys playing a video game. If you're playing Pac-Man, you're going to have, Pac-Man has a score. Pac-Man has number of lives. Are you guys with me on this? So I would create a score variable, and when we keep score, we get to go score is equal to score plus 100. Or if Pac-Man gets eaten by a ghost, then lives is equal to lives minus 1. Are you with me? So that is a variable. It's just like ax squared plus bx is equal to c, okay? Or a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. In math, those are all variables. So I'm going to go ahead and create a variable here. I'm going to create 2 of them. So I go to my variables block, my drawer. I call this my drawer over here. And you can see it automatically gives it a name. Well, that's not the name that I want. So I'm going to call this teacher code. Okay? And a teacher code, you got to think about, is it going to be a number or is it going to be a text? If it was a text, I would go over here and give it that. But it's not going to be a text. A teacher code is going to be a mathematical number. Should be like a 6-digit number for a teacher code. Okay? Over here, I'm going to have a student code. And I'm going to initialize it to a 0 value. Okay? And what else should I have? What else mathematically should happen in this app? When you click on the button, what should happen? A ticket count, right? So we should have a variable for ticket count. And since he said ticket count, that's exactly what I'll call it. Okay? So you go over here and you call it ticket count. And you're going to notice that there's no spaces in there. You can use underlines for spaces if you want to use a space. I don't. All I do, my technique is I start with a lowercase letter and I uppercase any word that is after the first word. So once again, you can just duplicate this and now you have a count. Okay? So let's go ahead and handle the button where you just simply press on the button. So what's that button called? I go down here, it's called BTN counter, and I say, okay, when the counter, BTN counter is clicked, what am I going to do? Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and get my variable, okay, and I'm going to set this variable, okay, and what variable is it? It's ticket count. And I want to say, okay, set the ticket count equal to, and now we got to go back and do some math here. Set it to, and then I can go to ticket count. plus, what do you want to happen? What should we add when you click on the button? How many should they get every time you click? Yeah, just go to 1. So I just go over here and get a 0. And I'm going to go ahead and hit delete here, highlight that, and just type in 1 there. Let me type in 1 and hit enter. Okay. So set global ticket count to global ticket count plus 1. Everybody see what I did there? Okay. So let's go see how we can handle the text box. So once again here, like, you know, when you are clicking the button and you're adding 1 to a student, you need to know which student you're giving it to and which teacher is giving the button and who they're giving it to. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and set your teacher code. I'll put this up top because this probably should have happened first. So set, that's not text color. I don't want a text color there. So I want to go ahead and get so I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to set my variable. Okay, so I want to set my variable of teacher code, and I'm getting it from the text box. Are you guys with me on that? You're getting the code, the teacher code, from what they typed into the text box. So we want to go down to this text box, teacher text box code, and say, okay, set it to whatever they typed in there. The green box is that code. Okay, and now frankly I'm just going to do that again with, go ahead and set my student code. Okay, and you're going down to whatever they type in the student code text box. Okay, and now you have a teacher code, you have a student code set in, and now you can start adding tickets. So we got 5 minutes left. And that's how I just go through thinking about code blocks. I just kind of work from top down and say, okay, I have a text box. What do I want to do with that? Well, I want to type in code there. I want to get a text from that text box. I want to get the code and set it into my variables. And then I want to go ahead and add 1 to my counter. Now, also, when we add 1 to the counter, where do we want to display it? Should we display the count? Do we have our GUI set up to display the count? Yes, we do. So now we can go down to LBL show count, and I want to click on set its show count, okay, to the get. So I'm going to go back to my variables, and I want to get. And which variable should I get to show the count? Is that the teacher code? Is that the student code? Or is that the ticket count, right? So you just go to ticket count, and I want to go ahead and display that ticket count. Okay? So that's really how I do this. Now, one thing I would like us to do also is I think we ought to display the teacher code, right? I think we should display the teacher code, and I can actually show you how to do that. And actually, you can use a text format where you join. Okay, here it is, right here. Okay. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and create this where I can join even more. Put another string in there. Okay, I want to put 3 strings in there. Why do I want to put 3 strings in there? I want to display a teacher code. a student code, and the ticket count. Are you with me? So there's 3 things in there I want to display. Okay? So now all I have to do is here is a bunch of gets. So I'm going to duplicate these gets, and I'm going to put them in there. I'm going to duplicate another get, and I'm going to put them in there. Okay? And then here I want to display the teacher code. I want to display the student code, and now I want to display the ticket code. Now the problem with this is because I'm an experienced developer, is that they're all going to go right next to each other, because this is called concatenation. And like if you would concatenate hot dog, you're going to get hot dog with no space in between them. Do you want a teacher code, a student code, and a count with no spaces in between them? No. So let's go ahead and display some spaces in between them. So I'm going to go to join, and I'm just going to add some strings in here in between them. Okay. And right here I'm going to go get some text. I'm going to go get just a little space value here. Okay. And I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. Put 3 spaces in there just to give it a little bit of separation. Okay. And I'll go 1, 2, 3 here, and to give it a little bit of separation. So let's go see if this works. We got 1 minute left. So I'm going to go to connect, and I'm going to go to reset my connection. I'm going to go to AI Companion, and I'm going to scan in my barcode. Connect and click on Scan QR Code. You won't be able to see this on the video, but I'm scanning in my QR code, and I'm going to see if this comes up on my app. And it does, but it did not come all the way through, so I'm going to hit it reset again. AI Companion. That's funny, my voice button came up purple. We weren't even close to purple last time, were we? All right, there it is. There's my GUI, by the way. Excellent looking GUI. I really like it. So let's go ahead and type in teacher code. I'm just going to type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Student code 654321. 654321. That's my student code. And I want to go ahead and add in a button. Okay. And I get some runtimes errors here. I'm going to have to figure this out. But that's it. That's it for today. That's how you add code.